Hey friends, welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and today I'm going to be talking about this knife. This is the slip joint version of the Civivi Elementum. Now, just by way of introduction, this is not going to be a full review the way I usually do a full review with full specs, full teardown, all of that stuff. As you may have noticed, I haven't been posting an awful lot. I've just been off lately, much more nausea than usual, dizziness. There might be something going on with my meds. I'm on like 10 or more medications for my various things, and something's going on, and I'm just feeling off all the time. And but I'm going to record this. So the Civivi Elementum, we're going to do a tabletop, and I'll tell you what I think about this thing and some specs. So if you're interested in my review is going to be more like the average YouTube reviewer who, grabs a knife, hits record, and just tells you what they think of the knife, which is what I think most reviewers do. I can't say for sure, but it seems to me that that's what most reviewers do. And from the ones I've talked to, that's what they tend to do. And whereas I tend to do a lot of testing, although I have carried this an awful lot, so I've done a lot of testing on this. And I do a full set of my own measurements instead of just copying off of what some website says, because those are sometimes wrong, often wrong on some brands. But Civivi does a pretty good job of putting their specs on their website. So if you want to know all the specs of this thing, check out civivi.com and take a look at their Elementum Slip Joint if you want all the measurements and everything. Except for they don't give you the measurements I'm going to give you. So come on down to the tabletop. Let's take a look at this thing. So here you go. This is obviously the wood version of this knife, and it's got a nice wood finish. They've got several different types of finishes. The cheapest version's G10, and in the United States, it starts at the low 50s, 51 something US. I got mine at White Mountain Knives, and you can save 10% at White Mountain Knives with coupon code CCE. And since it's a slip joint, it's shipped to Canada, no problem. And I got this before the before Donald Trump became president of the United States in his second term here. So before the tariff issues were a problem for getting knives into Canada, much added expense. So I got it from there. So if you're in Canada, find some store in Canada that has this. I think House of Knives has it. Blades Canada has it. Check around. And you'll find it in the low 80s starting range for the G10 version and up for the wood. And then they've got some, I think, resin ones, a nice blue multicolored one that kind of looks nice. And 14C28N stainless steel on the blade. This is a black wash finish, hollow grind, drop point, bit of a swedge there, belly in a straight section. And it's a classic slip joint with a back spring, and that holds it down. There's a stop pin down there that strikes right here in this sort of sharpener's choil. If my camera's picking it up, there's a little bit of a silver line right there where the finish is worn off because closing it, it hits that. So with that stop pin in there, you don't have to worry about your cutting edge striking the inside of the knife. So nice modern. We've got a nice lanyard hole back here inset, so there's no wood there. So that's great for those that want lanyards. It doesn't bulk out. T8 screws here, T8 screw there. You got the Civivi logo. Pocket clip goes on either side on top, and those are T6 screws. And it's a typical Civivi pocket clip. You've heard me talk about those many times, and if not, go watch a Civivi review of mine, and you'll see what I think of those. So I like this wood finish. There's no chips or cracks or anything in it, and it looks good. It's got nice grain. There's a little bit of a wave in the grain right there, so there's a knot somewhat underneath that there was originally when it was growing. Just gives it a nice little character. I like that. Black wash finish, I think you get a stone wash finish as well. I don't remember exactly. Right there it says 14C28N, and that's the only writing anywhere on the knife. You just have that C for the Civivi. Now this hollow grind, a measurement that they don't give you on the internet is how thin is it behind the grind. So where that black wash starts. So the silver angle, that's the apex grind for sharpening. Behind that It is 11 thousandths of an inch thin. What is that? 0.28 millimeters thin. So this is a very thin edge. It was quite sharp from the factory, not crazy sharp or anything. I don't remember. I did test it. I wrote it down somewhere. I'll put it on the screen what the measurement was. I don't have that piece of paper down here right now. I think it was the low 200s, maybe the high 100s on my best tester, which is quite nice. Chipping up here, and yeah, it cuts well. You won't use a slip joint knife for piercing because if you just put a little pressure on the spine, the blade's going to start to close on you because it doesn't lock. But for slicing and cutting, this thing does quite well. You know all about 14C28N by now if you've been following the knife industry for a while. It's a good stainless steel, and this thin makes it a very good little light EDC knife. I've carried this an awful lot, and very useful. We've got a nail nick on this side. You don't really need the nail nick. You can just pinch it and open it. You don't have to put your nail in there. So if you're a woman and you want one of these knives and you've got nails, maybe they're a little longer, and certainly you don't want to break them, yeah, just a pinch and it opens just fine. Yeah, about 1 to 2% of the views on my channel are from women. That's about it. So those few of you who are still watching, yeah, it opens just fine, just pinching it like that. So yeah, it's nice. It's a slip joint knife. It's the classic style, like I said. It feels good in the hand. If you want, watch my other Elementum video. There is an Elementum fixed blade video, but watch my other review of the Elementum. Other than the fact that it's a hollow grind and a slip joint, it's very much like your standard Elementum. This is not really a forward choil here, but there's lots of room there if you want to sneak up and cut like that. That's fine, or just keep your hand back here. My hand size this way is in the extra large range. Not much, but just in the extra large range. So that tells you a little bit about how big this is. If your hands, that's men's extra large. So do a comparison in your mind to see if you would like that. Other than that, I like the fit and finish. We've got ball bearings in there, phosphor bronze ball bearings in a, ceramic ball bearings in a phosphor bronze cage, which is nice. And like I said, you can just slam it shut and that's good to go. Holds well, doesn't take an awful lot of pressure to start closing it, and it shouldn't, but it's got a half stop. So that's a little bit of extra security that, if you start closing it, it's not going to, just slam right into your fingers right away. So that's a safety feature. Then you get your hand out of the way and close it. I'd get my hand out of the way anyway. I tend to close it, holding it like this, and then put some pressure on the spine and close it and never have any of my hand in the way of the blade because that stop pin protects this edge. So it's no problem at all just to do that. There you go. That's my basic thoughts of this knife. Do you have one? Let me know what you think. And yeah, the Civivi Elementum Slip Joint. I'm very, very happy with this knife. Like I said, I've carried it a lot more than I needed to for my testing. It's definitely this year's favorite slip joint knife. It's in my top 5 favorite slip joint knives of all time. It's just a really nice, light EDC slip joint knife from Civivi. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.